all the stuff we're going to be talking about today is a byproduct of my hockey career. There was a lot of guys that had way more skill than I ever had in my whole life that never played one NHL game. I was fortunate enough to play 163. And when I started coaching, I noticed the variables of the guys not getting called up or the guys that maybe got a game or two that were getting sent back down. Where do you think the gap was?
Their mindset?
Their mindset. My name is Cote. I played 8 years of professional hockey, 4 with the Philadelphia Flyers, and I bounced around in a couple of organizations. Spent 6 years in the Flyers organization as a player, and then I coached the Flyers minor league team for 7 years. Founders out in Adirondack for 5 years, and then I was in Lehigh Valley for 3 there. So, if anybody's done any digging at all around my background in my past, you'd probably notice that I wasn't much of a goal scorer. I spent most of my time in the penalty box, believe it or not. There was a role back in the day for fighters, for enforcers. It's kind of weaned out of the game, as you guys have probably noticed. Not much fighting anymore. So I wasn't overly mindful. I was a little bit mindless, actually. So all the stuff we're going to be talking about today is a byproduct of my hockey career and what I learned essentially after I retired from playing hockey. So stuff that might be foreign to you guys, you might have not ever heard these concepts before. Some of you may have. They're not new. They're just not really talked about, especially in the hockey world. We're very, very focused on training our physical bodies, trying to get bigger, faster, stronger, right? More skill. We're trying to be more skilled, better hands, quicker shot, right? All great stuff if you want to be a high-level hockey player. But what I noticed, and this was probably my last year of playing and then getting into coaching, when I really noticed this, there was a lot of guys that had way more skill than I ever had in my whole life that never played one NHL game. I was fortunate enough to play 163. It's not that much, but it was more than one. And when I started coaching, I noticed the variables of the guys not getting called up or the guys that maybe got a game or two that were getting sent back down. Where do you think the gap was? They're all physical specimens, they're strong, they're quick, they're fast, they're built like Greek gods. Where do you think the gap was?
Their mindset?
Their mindset. And beyond that, their mindset might have been right to some degree, but it's involving mindset. You're on the right path. It's really the inability to focus their mind, so that's part of the mindset piece. So focusing your mind and staying focused. How many times have you heard your coach yell at you, staying focused, you're not losing their mind because you're not paying attention. And then the other side of that is the inability to self-regulate, meaning when life gets challenging, when the game gets challenging, that these players self-destruct. They become their own worst enemies. So today's conversation and exercises are going to be around mindfulness and practice of being fully present. And being fully in the moment, without judgment, without sensations, without feelings. So what does that mean? When you're doing something, you're 100% invested in it. Your focus is 100% into what you're doing. 100% undivided attention. Does that make sense? So when you're on the ice, classic example, when you're on the ice, free-flowing with the puck on your stick up the ice, are you thinking? You're not, right? Like you're feeling, you're reading, reacting. You're not really in the mind right now. You're in the heart. Hockey's a creative sport, so you're feeling, right? You're flowing up the ice. You're feeling pressure. You're moving. You're reading, reacting. So in that moment, you are fully present, right? You are in what they call flow state. You're in the zone. You probably have all heard these terms before. The question is how do we get into these mental states quicker, and how do we stay in them longer? So the reality is focus is working against distraction, right? We can't be focused if we're distracted. So the world of mindfulness has a lot of different pieces, but if our mind is constantly working towards something else, how can we be focused on the task at hand? So but if you're talking to your teammate, you're not paying attention, how can you become a better player? If you're standing first in line, the coach says go, and you're not ready to go, how can you become a better player, right? So all these examples interface with life. So it's focus versus distraction. And when we're not focused, that's when we struggle with self-regulating. So for example, we turned the puck over because we're unfocused. We didn't make the right play. Maybe we tried to make the right play. For this example, maybe we just were not overly focused. Turn the puck over, coach gets mad, you're mad at yourself. Instead of pausing on the bench and just reflecting on what you did, making mistakes as part of the game, being okay with it, we're beating ourselves up, we're on the worst enemy, so when the time comes to go back on the ice next shift, we're not ready to go. Our mindset is not where it needs to be. We're still worrying about the past, we're still worrying about the mistake. We're going to do a couple exercises here, and they're going to be a little different than you've ever done before, because we live in a fast-paced world and everyone's go, 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 go. We don't have any time to spend on ourselves to calm the mind, calm the nervous system, and just be with ourselves. So, anybody know what stress is? Stress? Yeah?
Like doing a lot of things at once and being overwhelmed.
Yes, a lot of things at once and being overwhelmed. That's a perfect example of not being mindful, right? We're doing too much and we're stressing out the nervous system. When we're doing actual work on the ice, we're stressing out the body, right? You're putting a stress load on the body. But the world is full of stressors, so our job is to be able to manage stress. I'll get into the meat and potatoes here, just kind of like laying out the groundwork here. The present moment, I already said mindfulness. Mindfulness is the focused mental state and practice of being fully present, in the present moment. Now, it's now, right? There's no other time that exists but now. But a lot of times in our heads, we're not in the moment, rather in the future, worrying about something, in fear, worrying about what could happen, what could go wrong, all this other stuff, how is this going to play, all this stuff, or we're in the past. Now is where we start. It's always right here, right now. That's where life exists. When you're on the ice and you're in the game, in practice and listening to the coach, it has to be right now. If you're thinking about what homework you have to do for next week, there's no way you can retain what the coach is saying. Getting to the present moment is where we start. That's the starting point always. Always coming back to the start, the present moment. Okay, so then where are we going, right? So now it's like the next question is our why, our purpose. Everything on this planet that exists has a purpose. Humans have a purpose. This building has a purpose, right? How is hockey and figure skating? Cars have a purpose. These trees have a purpose. Look around you, everything has a purpose. So what is your purpose? What is your goal? What is your dream? So when you separate the human from the athlete, you have a human dream. What do you want to accomplish in this world, right? Dream big. And then what do you want to accomplish as a hockey player? Right? And you separate the two, right? So you have your understanding of what you're doing. It's like hopping into a car and having nowhere to go. What happens if you hop in your car and you have no destination? Anybody? You might get lost, right? You get bored, you get lost, you're cruising around, I don't know where to go. So you have to have a landmark to work towards. You have to know where you're going. As long as I can remember, I knew in my heart I was playing the NHL. 4 years old, 5 years old, I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I had something to work towards. So as long as I can remember, every morning I woke up, I just believed that I was going to play in the NHL. Didn't have a game plan besides working hard and having a good attitude, going on the ice and doing my thing. But you have to have something to work towards. There's no way I could have ever found my way, even if it was fighting my way up there, had I not had a big target, big dream, big goal, big purpose, right? And that was my hockey purpose. I realize now that my life's purpose is way beyond hockey. Using hockey to teach some of this stuff, it's way beyond hockey. And that's okay. So you got the where are we starting now? Where are we going? That's up to you guys to define. What do you guys want in life? What do you guys want in hockey? And then it gets into the mindset. Well, how are we going to get there? Well, we have to have a proper mindset, right? We have to know what we're working towards. We have to be able to shift our mind to what we want to do. So when we go on the ice, our mindset's a little different than when we're playing a game. Our mindset's a little different when we do off-ice training, and our mindset's a little different when we do this, right? The mindset's a little different when you leave the rink, when you know you have time to relax and create space. So the mindset is the next piece. We have the starting point, we have the direction of where we're going, and then we have the roadmap. The roadmap is the mindset. So we're going to just stay where you guys are. First, a little exercise here. It's a grounding exercise. So what we're going to do, we're just going to sit still. We're going to close our eyes. This might seem a little weird because you guys aren't used to doing stuff like this, but we're just going to do this for about a minute. All I want you to do is close your eyes. Just connect to the natural breath. We're not going to do breath work in this specific exercise. We're just going to breathe naturally. In the nose, out the nose. Close the eyes. And once you feel fully calm, peaceful, and regulated, this is the practice of regulating the nervous system. Just think about 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for and see how your body chemistry changes. Okay, so we're just going to close our eyes. Just slowly calm the body. Just exit the nose. Feeling supported, feeling grounded, feeling safe. That last exercise, you can do anytime, anywhere. You could be in your car on the way to the hockey rink. You could be in the car on the way to school. You could be at school. You could be at the rink. You could be on the bench. You don't even have to close your eyes, but closing the eyes obviously minimizes the distractions around us, so we can kind of work inwards. But that 1 minute, 30 seconds of pause, calming the nervous system, it's amazing how much it can really help you. One more exercise before we bring out the drums and get into a little rhythmic drumming here. It's just a breathing exercise. So in the nose for 3, out the mouth for 5. We're going to do this together, right? So find that comfortable seated position. On the inhale for 3, in the belly, into the chest, to the top. Exhale. Fully letting go of the breath. 3, 4, 5. Inhale into the belly, into the chest. Energy rises to the top. Exhale. Slowly letting go of that breath. So when we're nervous, when we're in fear and worrying, they call it the sympathetic nervous system. Our nervous system is fried. We're anxious. You can't sit still. We're full of this kind of dense energy. When we're relaxed, we're calm, we're peaceful. They call it parasympathetic nervous system. That's the energy we want to tap into in the mindfulness world. When we're relaxed, we're calm, we're focused, we're concentrated. Does that make sense? So the idea through breathing is to get out of the sympathetic nervous system, the stressed out, anxious nervous system, into the relaxed, focused, calm, peaceful nervous system that we're all trying to find. Because when we're there, we're more creative, our performance increases, our mental awareness increases, and everything is better. This is a djembe drum. These drums originate from West Africa. Traditionally, I would have you guys in a circle. Actually, why don't we pull together a circle here? Make a big circle here, big circle. So the circle, everyone's equal in the circle, right? So the team, everyone has a role in a team, everyone's equal, right? If I was the coach, if I was the teacher, I'm still in that same circle as you. I'm not in the middle of the circle, I'm not outside the circle. We're all together here. West African djembe drum. This drum makes 3 sounds. We'll pretty much use 2 today. First one is a bass tone, so it's in the middle of the drum. Can you hear it? At the end, it's called the tone, open tone. So it's a little higher pitch. At the edge, it's called a slap. So it's kind of a higher pitch sound. So you're going to start the same way. It's going to be the 2 basses. So then it's going to go. So bass, parallels between when you're focused on something here, you're kind of in flow, having fun, you're not really thinking about it, versus playing hockey, you're kind of just like in flow, not thinking about having fun. See some similarities? A little bit, even though it's 2 different things. But just know that these types of things can actually even though they're fun and enjoyable, can actually be real great practice for focus and concentration. Because I'm telling you, guys, the biggest gap between the guys that ever find their way and the guys that don't, girls included, is up between the ears. So if you guys have the ability to find ways to focus, self-regulate better, you're going to have a way better chance, no matter how much skill everybody else has.